we're here for the party. Trust me, we're just getting started. The sound, the vibe, I feel so alive. You're only here for the party. I might just get what I wanted. The sound, the vibe, I feel so alive. I feel so alive.
Hey, welcome back to another fabulous episode of Passion Fashion, where we dive into the world of fashion with myself, Keegan, and the beautiful Zohra.
Hi, Keegan. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's good to hang out with you again, talking about fashion.
Absolutely. I love how winter's here, and so is our winter wardrobe.
Absolutely.
Love it. And I feel like, the whole idea of winter styling is to be able to get so many pieces together and create something beautiful out of it. Like, look at us today.
Yeah.
You've paired this lovely sweatshirt with this suede jacket. That looks amazing. The colors
Thank you.
fit well. I'm all layered up, and I think I love how we look today.
Thank you so much. Well, do you know what burgundy apparently is supposed to be the sort of color for winter, and I'm making the most of it. So I took out the suede jacket from my wardrobe, and I'm finally getting to wear it. Thanks to you, Zohra.
Absolutely love the whole idea of it. You know what I think? Like back in the days, winter styling was meant to be, bringing out stuff that helps protect you from the strong weathers, if I'm not wrong.
Absolutely. Now, you are giving me sort of like a day in Paris on a nice cold winter's afternoon, wanting to get a nice little cappuccino. And that's exactly where it started, isn't it? Especially sort of during the times where the weather was a lot colder in the European countries.
Right.
Now, you would personally pair it with a nice coat and a nice little beret to keep yourself warm. However, in the sort of 20th century, now that we are coming into like the sort of new age, we're using layering now as fashion statements as opposed to, keeping us warmer during the winter times.
I agree 100%. I mean, as much as I would like to say that, yes, it's all part of your styling, there's also, climate changes that come into play. But I feel, yes, I mean, as you can see today, I'm dressed in these layers, but honestly, during winters, you're supposed to be putting these on, putting these pieces on. But right now, it's very beautifully rested on my shoulders because I just think it looks good that way.
And it does look good on you.
Fashion has evolved.
Yeah, no, 100%. It has evolved. And it's so funny though, because here we get to sit and we get to talk about fashion, right? And we get to talk about all the things that we love about fashion, but we always have to pay homage to how fashion came about.
Absolutely.
And now that we're talking about layering, I do think it is quite an important conversation because layering definitely started back in the times when maybe Zohra and I weren't born, but now we get to appreciate incorporating a style into a more sort of practical, keeping you warm, cozied up, and away from the colds and the flus that, yes, we are actually currently experiencing right now. Sure. So I did mention earlier that, burgundy is a color now that's in like the winter seasons, but there are different other colors and different ways that we can incorporate sort of textures and colors, right, Zohra?
Absolutely, yeah. So honestly, you know what I think? Textures can get tricky. They can get tricky a lot of times. I've had people come up to me and say, hey, you know what? I want to wear my leather jacket today. Can I pair them up with my leather boots and my leather crop top? And I'm just like, no, it's a little too much of the same thing. You have to know how to play well and balance it out with textures. You can't overdo it. If you know what I'm trying to say. Like today, I see at least 3 different textures on you.
Yes.
I'm sure this is suede. I'm not really sure what your trousers are.
Let's just say it is quite a knitted fabric. It was just the first thing that I found in my cupboard, and I was like, oh, these 2 textures will probably go well together because it's not suede, but it does have that same sort of, the depth that suede does have.
It absolutely, it goes so well.
Thank you.
Which is what I'm trying to say. You need to know how to play between textures.
Yeah.
You can't, go with just one texture and overdo it because then it just takes the impact away.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I'm saying.
No, 100%.
So I think it's very important if you know how to layer yourself. You should also know how to, mix it up, switch it up a little bit with, different textures.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's also about like using basics, isn't it? In your wardrobe with things that are a little bit more, I would say, like your leather jacket. So, for instance, I've owned a leather jacket for a long time, and I like to wear leather jacket with the plainest of outfits because the leather jacket then becomes the statement piece. And it's always nice to have a bit of a statement piece so that that your outfit, it's well-rounded. Now, with well-rounded outfits, right, you have to think about your proportions. proportions as well, right,
yes,
Zohra?
absolutely.
And I think as a gentleman, we can play a lot with proportions. So, for instance, if you are a lot stockier, maybe in your upper body, and you have a little bit of like a smaller slimmer leg sort of proportion, right? You can incorporate more of a baggy pants with a nice oversized hoodie, and then you can incorporate that with a nice jacket. So again, it's all about your proportions, but everyone's proportions are all different. Now, with men, it does, we sort of play it safe because you can just add a jacket. Where with you right now, you've got to think about bodice. You've got to think about, every single part of your body that all works together.
And I think it's a little easier with women because we have so many other things to play around with. I mean, for example, if, we have all these jackets on, like we have a leather jacket on, we have a nice hat, a cap, we have, multiple layers, we have gloves. You can't just go with your basic pumps, your basic shoes, your basic white flats. You need to know how to balance that proportion. If you've gone too heavy on the top, you need to know that there has to be some weight at the bottom as well.
Yeah.
You pick your boots. We have many different kinds of boots. As women, we're lucky, we're blessed. We have knee-length boots, we have thigh-high boots, we have ankle boots. We have so many things to play around with.
Yeah.
And I think that's how, you're able to balance that proportion with styling.
No, 100%.
And we know that we have to be able to layer the right way. We have to play with textures, balancing the proportion also comes into play. But I also think colors play a very, very big role. Now, as you see today, the two of us, even though we're in similar colors or shades, I practically am monochrome today. I've gone all black. On the other hand, you almost went all black, and then you said, you know what, let's bring in a pop of color.
Yeah,
and
a statement piece, remember? Yeah, a bit of a statement piece. And again, it does come down to practicality here, right? It does come down to practicality. So again, you don't have to think too hard and too long about what you're wearing. Just make sure that you've got a piece of clothing that is going to, I guess, set you apart from everyone else that is maybe walking on the streets. Now, because, Zohra, both of us are sort of more passionate about fashion, you do think about this more often, right? So, for instance, burgundy, like I was saying before, it is sort of the in color now for winter. So the minute I grabbed the burgundy, I was like, what does burgundy go with? Black, right? Like many other outfit choices, burgundy also goes with the grays, the creams as well. But black is very much a monochromatic color to incorporate throughout every season.
Absolutely. Also, I feel the stereotypical notion around winter styling is that you go with the darker shades. Yeah. You go with your blacks, you pull out your neutral shades, you pull out your burgundies, and your, the color of the year 2025 is mocha mousse.
Yes.
Which are all shades of brown.
Okay.
So I feel like somewhere you need to be able to break that stereotype.
Yeah.
You can bring in your pinks, you can bring in your yellows, your greens, if you know how to style them the right way.
Okay. And you're saying you can do this in the wintertime then, like really challenging the status quo?
Absolutely you can. And I feel you must.
Okay.
Why should there be boundaries? Why should you be, only pulling out certain colors during winters and certain colors during the summers? I don't think colors have seasons. I don't think they should be associated with seasons. I think they should be brought in and, utilized throughout the year.
I love that.
I think that's a concept I would love to introduce my
And it's about like exploring different colors as well, and utilizing again what we spoke in our previous episode, things that you maybe have in your cupboard that you haven't worn for a long time. So maybe it's an item of clothing that you would potentially only wear in the summertime. Okay, but let me tell you, if Zohra can come out with an amazing video on her Instagram showcasing different ways to style different items of clothing, you can do the same thing as well. And I just wanted to mention this now that we are in the wintertime and we are talking about layering of your clothing. Gentlemen, it is Valentine's season, okay? It is that time of the year where it's sort of the month of love. And if you were thinking of, putting a ring on it with your missus, well, this is the perfect opportunity because now you've got more clothing on. So you can hide that box so much more. And that's what I absolutely love about layering, is that there's lots of surprises within these different kinds of layers.
So So I love the idea of using your layers to hide that ring of yours, because I'd love to find a ring in my pocket rather than in the food that I'm eating and possibly choking on.
No, okay, we definitely don't want that, okay? So listen, that comes down to the end of this exciting episode of Fashion with myself, Keegan, and Zohra. So if you wanted to layer and maybe you were wanting to propose as well, this is the perfect opportunity. Make use of all the layers, all right? We'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on this journey for more insightful fashion tips. See you in the next episode.